Like It or Not with Benjamin Dixon starts now.
Bruh, hey bruh, wait a minute. Now, you can't do that when I'm sitting over there looking like I'm in a casket, and then you over there sitting like, may the fourth be with you, brother. To the listening audience, you cannot participate in this particular part. Oh, actually, you can. You can hear him. You can hear the insanity. Welcome to Like It or Not. James, say good morning. James, say good morning to the people, man.
Good morning, yo. I was saying good morning, man. You ain't hear me?
Oh, I don't speak Wookiee. Sorry, not Wookiee.
Wookiee, you said it. That's right.
Yeah. Oh man, I felt like I had walked myself to a pop quiz about Star Wars all of a sudden. But welcome to Like It or Not, where we're free to tell the truth
and not care who doesn't like it. As you see, Benjamin Dixon is in Avatar land today. He want to be Avatar so bad.
Well, look, bro, I'm going to have to create a technology where I don't actually have to be on screen to do this show, because I signed up to do radio. I'll be honest with you. When I first started doing this, all I wanted to do was radio, and then I realized, oh man, people got to see me now. I gotta try to lose weight. Got to put on wake up and put on clothes and stuff. So,
right,
if we could do this with avatars, you know I would. Oh, did you lose?
I'm about to say, did we lose Ben?
Oh Lord, please don't tell me you lost me again.
Oh, okay.
Listen, we're waiting for we do have Queen Azor inbound. She will be joining us momentarily, and we've been covering all the news, all the shenanigans, everything else. We still have a couple more stories that we want to go over, but I can't leave you hanging out there, James. Today is May the 4th, and for anyone who does not understand, it is a significant day. James, help everybody understand what today means.
Yes, May the 4th be with you. Basically, May 4th is a celebration of all things Star Wars. So if you don't know what May 4th is, shame on you. And if you don't know what Star Wars is, even more shame on you.
Shame. Walk through the plaza. Shame. Yes. So May the 4th to all the Star Wars fans out there. If it's a battle between Star Wars and Star Trek, I do have to pick Star Trek, though. I do have to. I know I didn't have to pick that violence this morning, but I just wanted to. Star Trek over Star Wars, but happy Star Wars Day to everyone.
And that's all right, Ben, because Star Trek had a lot more favorable shows, I guess you can say. Star Wars was pretty good. Some of their movies were kind of flat. It was just like, okay, could have did without that series. But then the original was good. Then the ones after is like, okay, it's pretty good. So, Star Wars is always hit or miss. Just depends on who you are. Star Trek, though, it never lets me down. So I have to agree with you on that.
Knew we were more than just brothers in arms, man. Look at that. Okay, that's the right take, because Star Wars. Now, listen. Let me ask you this. Now, this is not how you respect Star Wars on a day like this, but I do want to know, which is your least favorite Star Wars movie?
Probably The Phantom Menace. The prequels, really didn't too much care about them. It was okay. The last one was kind of rude as hell. Y'all done killed all the little Jedi-lings and everything. I was devastated. It's like, they're only babies.
I'm like, how am I supposed to process this? How am I supposed to process Anakin going in here and killing babies? Like it was a throwaway scene. And how do you make that horrible scene a throwaway scene? Shame on them. But yes, I agree.
Right. Got the little boy at the end with a little lightsaber, and then he just gets sliced down. Like, damn. That's a terrible way to go.
Well, okay, we agree. Oh, all right, man. This is I do want to bring attention again to the stories that we're covering. There's a lot of people across the country who are upset, and rightfully so, with this potential overturn of Roe versus Wade and the draft decision that was leaked a few days ago. A majority decision from the Supreme Court looks as though they will completely and unequivocally overturn Roe versus Wade. We have a couple of clips that I want us to play again. The first clip is of President Biden speaking about this full-throatedly, which I understand. This is a time to speak firmly, but it's also a time for action. But let's listen to the president as he speaks about Roe versus Wade.
Do you think that this leak has irreparably changed the court? We've never seen this happen before.
Well, you know, if this decision holds, it's really quite a radical decision. And again, I've not had a chance to thoroughly go into the report, but it basically says all the decisions relating to your private life, who you marry, whether or not you decide to conceive a child or not, whether or not you can have an abortion, a range of other decisions, whether or not how you raise your child. What does this do? And does this mean that in Florida they can decide they're going to pass a law saying that same-sex marriage is not permissible? It's against the law in Florida. So there's a whole, it's a fundamental shift in American jurisprudence.
Yeah. I mean, that's the thing, James. I think that's exactly what they are going for. I don't think it's a question. I think the next move is to absolutely ban anything that does not agree with white, conservative, evangelical Christianity. I think that they are going to try to block same-sex marriages. They're going to try to undo voting. They've already undone voting rights. So I don't think it should be posed as a question. I think Democrats need to jump and fight as though they know for a fact that's what these Republicans are getting ready to do.
Right. Agreed, man. You know, it's just, I know that they say everything is not written in stone. I mean, after this, guarantee that these people are going to keep that document the same way that it is. And it just really sucks so bad because all the liberties that, you know, that we fought for and everything else now is going to go down the drain. It's just like it's going to affect so much that really would consider moving to another country.
Yeah, man. Listen, because it's not always like this. I think you're absolutely right. I think, you know, if you're born in America, you never lived anywhere else. And if all you've been able to do in your life is work, because that's what this country just does. It keeps everybody so busy trying to survive. They don't have a chance to actually analyze this place. If you've never been anywhere else and you never analyzed this place, then you would not know that there are countries who are doing a lot better than us, right? There are countries that are not doing this to their citizens. There are countries that are not getting their citizens in debt just to go to college, or people dying because they get cancer and they don't have insurance. Like, there are countries that are not doing this to their citizens. But here in God bless America, we have the perfect country to exploit us all the way down to now. It's no longer even convenient for us to have rights. Take away all the rights, because now that's an inconvenience too. Here's Vice President Kamala Harris. She spoke pretty firmly about it. I want us to take a listen into what she said about Roe versus Wade.
Women would lose access to abortion immediately and outright. Those Republican leaders who are trying to weaponize the use of the law against women, well, we say, how dare they? How dare they tell a woman what she can do and cannot do with her own body? How dare they? How dare they try to stop her from determining her own future? How dare they try to deny women their rights and their freedoms?
I just know I'm just waiting to hear what y'all got to say. Right? Anyway, how dare they, man? How dare they? They really shouldn't be doing those kind of things.
There really isn't anything to say. Like she said it. It's just.
Let me not get us in trouble yet. We're not gonna get, because here's my thing. I'm frustrated with these clowns. Like, God bless every one of you. Like, you're better than Donald Trump. You're better than Marjorie Taylor Greene. You're better than everything else that's basically up there right now besides the squad. Y'all need to move out the way for the squad, but I digress. The point is, don't talk about it, be about it. We ain't got voting rights no more. They literally struck down when the Supreme Court struck down, not Plessy versus Ferguson. I went way back. I forgot the decision. Shelby versus Holder. When the Supreme Court struck down Shelby versus Holder, they gutted Section 5 of the Voting Rights Act that literally freed. Section 5 was the only thing of the Voting Rights Act that kept Southern states who had a history of disenfranchising Black voters. Section 5 was a section that said any change to the voting laws requires approval by the Department of Justice. Now, I think it was 2015. That's when they gutted the Voting Rights Act. That should have been assigned to the rest of this country. About democracy, but nope. Democrats saw that happen all those years ago, and they have been pretending as if they are surprised by all of the other rights that they are taking away. If they're starting with voting rights, what makes you think they're going to stop there? Of course they were coming after a woman's right to choose. So why aren't they acting like it? Anyway, we got Queen Azor is getting ready to come to the screen and help us enhance this conversation. And we were anyway, it's just one of those mornings, man. I'm kind of tired of talking about this news, especially when we saw this coming years ago. Yeah, absolutely. It's just excuse me. Somebody said it good in the chat. It's just like Kamala is so good at all these sound bites, but like not doing any action. Oh man. Yeah, I didn't want to be the one to say it. I was trying to wait for Rebecca to get here to say it. I know. I already feel it because it's just like, man, it just sucks. Our Democratic Party sucks. You got those that want to do something, but it's just like you got those who want to do something, they just not going to do it. And then you got those that's like, yeah, I'm just going to, no. It just sucks. Democracy sucks. It's definitely under siege. Rebecca Azor is coming to the screen now. Good morning, Queen Azor. How goes the day?
Hey, how are ya?
I'm missing in action, but we're pushing on through. We're pushing on up the upward way, as the mothers would say in church.
Oh, you brought back the Avatar.
I'm having some Tallahassee. I'm having some Tallahassee internet connection issues. He want to be an Avatar too so bad.
We want to be this Avatar right here. So bad.
It's the best one I got right now, okay? So it reminds me of better days. It's the best I can do. So y'all gonna have to accept it.
That's fine with me because, my internet, not that it was being Tallahassee because I'm located in some part of the woods in Georgia. It just wasn't working out. I'm in the mountains. And so I guess there was a really bad storm last night. It did wake me up out of my sleep. I'm scared of thunder and lightning. And because I live a little high up, it was just like in the Caucasus. All of that. And then it was like vibrating my little place. Ooh, and I'm like,
I would love it. Let's switch places, Rebecca. You come sleep over here in the low class in the valley.
Nah, I could see the mountains, and I would see the lightning striking, and then it struck
Rebecca,
somewhere.
Come on.
It was just, this is not no rain sounds, sleep sounds. Dudes always love to be on that.
Coming over there. Look, I'm coming over there. I'm going to sleep over there one night when it's storming real bad. You come over here and sleep. We just change houses during the thunderstorms because I would love to see that. I love stuff like that.
Yeah, it was super. I'm just staring at it and then I'm just like, it's super. I've always been afraid of it. So it was just scary. And then it's just like, you'll hear the thunder come rolling in after the lightning. I'm like, lightning was 17 minutes ago. Now the thunder want to go. It's just a lot. It's just a lot. But
right.
I guess I don't know. I don't know how it works. I don't like it. That's all I have to say. It scares me. And so I was up in the night, like, you know, just trying to keep one eye, you know, of my Forrest Whitaker eye, trying to keep one eye open. And so I just kind of like, it was just really scary. And so now I'm up tired. I tried to eat, but I was like, I couldn't even eat out of nervousness because I was like, you know how when you falling asleep and then you know that the lightning's gonna come. Well, y'all don't know because y'all don't do that. But I know the lightning's gonna come, so I have to hurry up and wake back up so I cannot be scared out of my sleep.
In the world.
When you
Girl, you need a man in your bed with you, girl.
You ain't never counted
I know.
the time between the lightning and the thunder to see which way the storm was going?
Did I what?
You ain't never like count the time between the lightning and the thunder to see which way the storm was moving?
So basically, for every second, if you see some lightning, every second afterwards that it takes to get to the thunder, that's how many miles away the storm is.
Yeah. And then if the time goes down or if the time goes up, you can tell if the storm is moving towards you or going away from you.
Oh, going away. Yep.
Wow, I didn't learn that. I don't know. I didn't learn that.
Jesus, they taught that in Earth Sciences in middle school.
Earth
Well, no,
Sciences?
I
I don't think I had that class.
Yeah, I can tell you, I skipped every science course through high school. I don't even know how I got out of high school, but I learned it from grandmama.
Oh, okay.
My mama taught me that.
My household, you know, my mama didn't never say nothing like that. She would just say, the thunder is rolling in Creole, and they be like, look at God talking. He out there. Somebody done made him mad. Girl!
Did y'all ever get the stories like when it's thundering, God is riding, or when it's raining, God is crying, or when it's lightning and thundering, God is riding his horse across the sky?
Yeah. What?
That story, but the only thing I really got was if the storm was too bad, cut that damn TV off.
Right.
Yeah.
Get out. Let me get out this
Especially
phone
if you had a
because
TV with the antenna.
Get out this phone because the lightning coming through.
I still get off the phone.
But that's what I'm saying. And the fact that, like, I'm on the balcony, you know, or where behind me you guys can't really see, but I literally have the view of all that, you know, the greenery, the grass, the mountains and stuff like that. I can see, it almost looks like it's striking my balcony. And I'm like, let me just get away.
You had some fun on that balcony, girl.
Like, for real, Dwayne, when I tell you,
but I don't like to have fun when there's thunder outside.
Wait a minute.
You wasting it. That's the best time.
Wait a minute.
Jesus. Oh, Jesus.
Anywho, that was my night, but I am here on this morning.
I'll tell y'all, when you're done, I'm going to tell you about I almost got struck by lightning after I lied.
Tell us now. I'm done. There's nothing for me to say. Tell us now.
Listen, because I didn't want to go too far from the lightning story. Listen, I was coming back my 29th birthday. And, you know, listen, I was partying hard while I was a musician at a church, but Saturday night was my birthday. So I was at the party, I drank, and I didn't wake up until noon. Everybody knows what time church starts in Black America is 11 o'clock. So I already missed half of the service. Now, I shouldn't be saying this because I've maintained this lie all the way up to this point. Now it's going to be public that I lied to this good minister who's no longer with us. God bless him. But when I got to church, I was like, you know, I kind of took advantage of an incident that happened. This valet guy messed up my car. He damaged my car. So I stretched it and said I got in an accident. I lied and said I missed half the church because I got in the accident. And I went and I showed them. And they're like, look, see, there's the dent. It was something that a valet guy did. That afternoon, I lie not to you, it didn't take about 2 hours after service. I was driving home and lightning struck so close to my car, you could see sparks jumping off the ground. Ooh. And I said, Lord, I will never lie to the man like that again. And then, I left it. So,
you play with the Lord.
When you say lightning, I got a little thing for lightning.
Okay, I got a story to tell too.
Okay.
Go ahead.
So it was one day, I was getting ready to go DJ an event, right? So I had to go to Guitar Center to get a part that I needed so I can go ahead and DJ on my event. And around this time, you know, cars, you get certain cars, they put the little cutoff thing in the car or whatever, right? So if you don't pay your bill, they'll cut the damn car off. So here it is. I'm in Guitar Center. I got there. Car working fine, no problem. I'm in Guitar Center. I got the little part that I need. Nobody is helping me. The white people just looking at me crazy. Just like, bruh, ain't nobody gonna come help me. I'm asking for assistance. Nobody come help. So I found a piece myself, and nobody's like helping me to check out or anything. So I walked out the store with the piece in my hand. I ain't gonna lie to you. I did.
You should have said the store company name, but go ahead.
Why Instant Karma got my ass? The car wouldn't start when I got it.
Oh my. Oh, you didn't even get out the door.
Oh.
Nobody ever came outside.
They was probably looking at Bubba through the window. They was like, we ain't even got to call the cops. He ain't even going nowhere.
Okay. They ain't never come outside and say nothing, but it's just like, yeah. I had
Are you guys just telling your truths today? Are you guys just telling your truths today? I mean,
well, my segue was from lightning. I segued from lightning. So.
Well, it caused that's good because but you lied in that moment, and that lady never gonna know you lied, but you felt compelled to share that moment, and then it ricocheted off of you for Bubba to have a release. And so, I pray that someone is touched. If you guys are watching right now, somebody is touched to release yourself from that lie.
Get away from them lies.
Remember, karma's a bitch. Karma is a bitch. That's the takeaway.
Yeah, that
you don't want to see lightning that close. That's all I'm going to say. You don't see I feel better now that I've got that off my. I feel like my life is a little bit safer. Thank you, Rebecca. What's next?
Rebecca, you okay?
Yes.
Ooh, girl, because you was just... Okay, anywho, so what's next? What we got going next?
I was on mute, right?
Yeah, you was on mute, but
okay.
Your face was still showing. You could tell it was like you was cussing somebody else.
And I apologize. That was the moment I was expressing my own truth. But anywho,
right.
There's a lot happening in the news. I know that you guys were just discussing Kamala Harris and her comments that she made towards Kavanaugh. Yeah. Am I right? Okay, so there's a lot there's not a lot to unpack there because there's not a lot to unpack there. Like you said, what will be done? There are great sound bites being made. Love to be a black woman in the moment. I like to see the things going viral. But at this point in time, the same way that I said I would hold Joe Biden accountable with the things that he said he would do after the news of this came out with the alleged eradication of Roe versus Wade. Ben, am I right? Roe versus Wade, not VS.
VSOP Wade. Roe VSOP.
Roe versus Wade. Yeah, but the same way that I want to hold Joe Biden accountable, even with the statement saying, "Here's my statement." We're gonna do the best that we can, kind of thing. Like we want to see it. Back in the day, there was a point in time that these sound bites was hitting on something. There was a point in time where we really trusted when the person that we put in place would say something and just do it. And if they didn't do it, we would let them fall on the pillow and be like, you know what, that's okay. We held that place for you. We made it safe for you. Now you can move forward and try again. And here we're in a time where it's like you don't get a couple of times to try again. You don't get that from us as a leader who actually who had multiple times to say things, who had multiple times to stand for things, and you kind of just disappear in the background and show up when you need to make a statement or when it looks good on you. And that goes for Nancy Pelosi as well. We got a lot of people who are in the Democratic side of things who aren't really giving us much to work with. They're silent on this side. They're silent when it comes to the cause, and they're not even addressing that this is not only affecting people who want to or want the option and the right to get abortions, but other healthcare issues or access to medication or things that could assist us. People with ovarian cysts, people who have fibroids, this is what we're talking about. And while the soundbite from Kamala was right in expressing to Kavanaugh, the quick question of, hey, listen, are there any laws that prevent a man from or the government that have the government controlling a man's body or a man's choice, or those are there any laws there? And he had nothing to say. It's really nice. It's really cool. But he's still at the head of this thing that could possibly go through. You see what I'm saying? No matter the soundbite, no matter anything else. What else are we doing? What else are we doing? So holding accountable, I think. Go ahead.
I was about to say, did y'all see the clip from Elizabeth Warren as well too? Her, I'm gonna say tirade, but her clip was, she was pretty heated, and I wish I would have dropped that and put that in there.
And to be sure, Rebecca, we didn't play that specific clip of Kamala and Kavanaugh, that exchange. We played the clip of her, speaking out yesterday. But that's a good point. Like, there's so many. All of these judges were asked this question, and I always wondered. Y'all do know these people are lying, right? Like when they asked Kavanaugh, when they asked them whether or not they were going to touch Roe versus Wade, when they asked Amy Coney Barrett there, that of course they were lying. That was their only purpose in life, was to get on the court so that they could overturn Roe versus Wade. But Democrats keep pretending as though this is all of a sudden somehow a shock. How's a shock when we've been telling you this for 30 years?
It's really just unbecoming. America just unravels itself. We got one string left. Just unraveling and just the
I don't even know if we got that left, Rebecca.
I don't even think so either. We on literally dust. We have nothing to offer anyone. We have nothing to offer our own, and have the nerve to start taking resources and things like that just to give to people that we like. That's it. We got allies that we don't even talk to. Like it's ridiculous. Like it's just we don't know how to move in this country with the people that live here, that built it, with their blood, sweat, and tears, historically, generationally. People that this place was stolen from. We can't honor them, even though we're saying that we're moving towards a more liberal, free, understanding, a country that recognizes their wrongs and things like that. We have no example of that at all. Women's rights has never been women's rights. It's been women's rights that is controlled by men, white men. I don't get it. We've come so far to show nothing. Nothing. We've come so far to show nothing. Every protest, even with, for me, it's like, we have women taking these places that they, that are first, and them saying that if we have this example of a woman here, then it shows that women can do it anywhere. But it's like, no, we're just going to do this for now so it can be somewhere in the history books. After this, we don't want to show up. We don't want these women showing up and doing these things. We just want to say that we fought for it, we tried it, we created a certain group for it, and this certain group only actually will probably give white women a little bit of something, and the rest of them, to hell with them. It's just like, this is what we're living in. There is no truth. You be talking about truths here. There is none of them. There is no truths that America has said they would do for people, especially of color, and it's actually gone through. If they said they would do something for the person of color, especially a woman of color, it's come with struggle. It's come with stress. It's come with it's come with whipping, not the literal, but it's like they gotta beat you down. Nothing comes easy. And then they're like, we're going to continue to take control of your bodies. You should not have control over your bodies. They'll tell us when to have babies and when to not have babies. They'll tell us when to suffer from our periods and when to not suffer from our periods. They'll tell us when to be rolling around with possible cancerous cells on our cervix, but won't give us any means to be able to pay for it, but tell us to go to the hospital and stay at the hospital for a longer time than we're supposed to, right? Just so they can rack up on coins off of our black bodies. Off of our vaginas.
Vajayjay.
And
Coochies.
no. Now you get into the real territory, the other territory, right? Right. The other side of it is the sexual control of the woman's body, just right there. Like at the end of the day, these are men who, without question, I don't care. Listen, there's not a man out there who don't have their own sexual desires that are as strong as everyone else's. So I don't, and that's putting it lightly. That's being nice. That's being kind. I doubt that there's a man out there that ain't some type of wild animal, but they want to turn around and say that they have the moral standing to lecture women about what they do. I don't think that there should be a man in this conversation, because I guarantee you there ain't a man that ain't walked down the street that looked at somebody's ass in the last year. And I don't care if it's the Pope out there looking at cheeks. So there's no morality or moral standing for anybody who don't have a vagina to be out there talking about what somebody should do with their vagina.
I ain't look at no booty. Not no female. You know what? Never mind. Just being left itself open.
I didn't say the gender. I didn't say the gender of the cheeks that you're looking at, James. If you notice,
this is true. This is true.
I did not say the gender.
This is true.
I did not say.
But you don't know, Bubba. Gay guys love a good booty, even if it's from a female. I'm a female, and I love to watch a girl with a nice ass walk by. Like, I'm like, dang, that is nice. That is a good.
Okay,
that's
like,
a good,
damn,
that's a good booty. That's a good booty.
And like, especially if I had a girlfriend or a wife as a partner, I'd be like, damn, baby, you see that? I'm like, damn, don't it look good? It do.
You talk about look. So you're right, Ben. All in essence, you are right. Everybody is looking at ass. Everybody is looking at ass. And I'm gonna tell you this: when your man or your partner tells you and be like, "Damn, babe, I think your ass getting bigger," and here we are, we're like, I mean, that will make my day. Now I'm a new person. You can't tell me anything. Like, I am just a special person. But that's because ass is important. So these men walking around here trying to take control and trying to act like women, take control of what women are wearing, how they should look in certain places, all these kind of things. Listen, you know you want to see that ass just as much as we do. Just because you got your wife being controlled, you know when you walk outside, you see special booty. That's what you want to see. Anyways, I say
I don't know who's crazier amongst the two of us.
Right, and y'all are right, man. It's one of those things like this is not Bridgerton where you got to control what the women do and who they can courtship in Bridgerton. Yeah, Bridgerton.
But it is. That's what they want, though.
That's what they want, and that's not what it is. They're females. They're their own selves. They should have the right to do whatever the hell they want to do with their bodies. And I mean, for the simple fact that the government or whoever the hell is trying to control that, I think that's total bullshit. It really is.
You know what, Rebecca? It's something, and you say this whenever we have this conversation. People don't believe in. You say that you come from a conservative perspective on this in some ways. I know I come from a conservative perspective on this from some ways, but I don't really care about my perspective because I'm a dude. But there are plenty of women who personally for themselves would not make that choice or would not make that choice now, but clearly fight on behalf of every other woman to have that. So I just don't understand, or I'm so tired.
Stop hating. Yeah, stop hating on another woman's ovaries. Stop hating on another woman's vagina.
Amen.
Get out of it.
But
Get your eyes and mind
Amy Coney Barrett. Amy Coney Barrett was a woman sent to the Supreme Court expressly to give cover to the Supreme Court to be able to do this thing because she's going to be talking about it from the perspective of a woman. And so that's the hypocrisy. That's the problem.
Mm-hmm. And they've chosen what's her name, Nancy Pelosi, to say something, but it's like we know that she's gonna go to sleep at night with her. I don't care what your view is. Here's my thing. Your view works for you, and that's why the right to choose matters. I don't care if you think that the person is going to hell or going to heaven or whatever your thoughts may be, but that goes in line with the freedom to choose, the freedom to believe, the freedom to do all of that. As for me in my house, my views can change. That's what makes me progressive. But I would never look at the next person and tell them, hey, like, you can't do that. You don't have the right to do that. Understanding, especially as a woman to another woman. Look, listen, Shirley, woman to woman. Okay? You gotta understand that your situation may not be the next person's situation. Just because you were able to take on being a mother and, hitting the pavement and going to work and coming back and taking care of your kids with your village, the next person may not have a village. The next person may have been raped. The next person may have a high-risk pregnancy. The next person may have mental issues. You don't know what that person's situation is. The next person may not be financially able to take care of this child. Maybe in the time that they were thinking about conceiving the child, it was all there for her. Then things all dropped down the window, couldn't do nothing. Maybe this person, you can't be all up in somebody's stuff, especially because everybody's stuff looks different.
Different.
Different. Different shapes and sizes. They not getting the same wax as you.
I don't know who's craziest on the screen. I don't know. I don't know.
Right. You got the landing strip. You got it bald. You got it all kinds of ways. Get out of people's vajayjays and worry about your own. Everybody's situation is not the same. And especially if you do not carry the same... Like, if you ain't got it, don't be on here trying to figure out, and you don't even know where the some of the parts that's supposed to work for a woman are located.
Oh, come on now. Hello, somebody.
To own and have governance under over a woman's body. I don't know.
Close us out right there, Rebecca, because if you can't find it, you don't need to be talking about it.
Come on, somebody, right there. That's where I'm at with it. Amen. China now.
I ain't even looking for it.
Anywho, wait, Rebecca. Let me just give this one data point. If they were really serious, if anybody in this country was really serious about reducing or stopping abortions, they only have to do two things: universal vasectomies for all men, free, and universal child care. Because you know how many people have to make these decisions because of finances. That's the abomination. There are people who don't want to have abortions, but they have to because they cannot financially afford to live in this empire. That's all.
All right, then.
Get out the bathroom.
Look, that's what I said. He been hopping in and out the bathroom, putting us on mute. You think we can't hear the sound change?
I'm not at the bathroom. I don't want to be. I don't want to be rude, but I can show you where I am if y'all want me to show you. Hang on.
We know acoustics
in the background, like Bagley and Bam or something.
Right.
I am broadcasting live from. Can y'all see it?
Oh no, hold on. I got to put you.
Oh, that's nice, Ben. Wherever you at right now, it's very beautiful. No, it's really beautiful.
I can't see it. I know Dwayne's working.
Oh no, I don't see me. Don't see me. Oh, take me off screen. Wait a minute.
No, you look great. Actually, your skin looks amazing.
It don't look glowy or whatever.
He was glowing.
He done changed clothes and everything.
Yeah, and I told y'all. Listen. I told y'all, like, when I got the opportunity, when my internet went out and I knew my cell data was going to be better, I said, let me go use my cell data right.
Yeah, Ben, so, you could be on camera right now. The sun is giving you what you need.
Ben. It's the
filter that
I don't know,
need.
guys, hang on. Okay, hey, good morning, everybody.
We caught the glimpse, though, of whatever that was. What did he say? He had 15 roaches on his face?
What happened?
Oh, God.
We caught the glimpse of that animal. But,
oh, you did?
Did you guys hear?
Yes, we did.
It is 9:46. It's 9:40. Ben, you got really nice look. Ben got hazel eyes out there in the sun.
He do look at Ben.
Hey, good morning, everybody.
See,
how you
look,
doing?
I would have gave that Ben a chance back in college, but not.
Oh Lord. Oh.
Wait
Lord.
a minute.
Oh Lord. So yeah. So no, listen though. I wanted to hurry up and tap onto this conversation as well, real quick. Just really quick, because we have something else to talk about as well. Dave Chappelle show yesterday.
Oh God.
The West Coast time, of course, they were on it while we were asleep. At a show, and I don't know the intricate details of it yet, but I do know at a show that he was doing, I believe it was in LA, a heckler ran up on stage and attacked him, like ran into him on stage.
Yeah.
And so as that happened, instantly, I know his bodyguards ran up on stage, took that man to the back, or as they were taking him to the back, they whooped his behind every single step of the way. The end of a video that I seen, or the only video at that time that was circulating, I'm not sure as of right now what is out there, but the video that was circulating at that time was a video of the man being led away in a stretcher with a dislocated arm was hanging, like it was just dangling in a different direction. Yes, it was.
Wow.
Yes, it was. And so he called Jamie Foxx up on stage. Jamie says, I didn't know what was going on, like what was happening just now. And then Chris Rock actually was there and comes up on stage and he's like, was that Will Smith? So they made a joke about it. But one thing I know is that run up and you can get done up. You know what I'm saying? So that was that moment there. And he made sure he had, listen, some of y'all comedians ain't got bodyguards.
They don't.
Dave Chappelle got about 15 of them. And
But
you
look,
gonna leave
the funny part is Dave Chappelle is like, he didn't got muscle in his old age, right? So when I heard that he got rushed on stage, I just found out like right before we got on this morning. That's when I found out about it. Like they said, he was rushed on stage, but he's cool. Like no issues, no injuries,
no. Because the bodyguards literally said, "Well, hold on," and they came from every direction. And if you better believe that Dave Chappelle continued on with his show, and he had so many people there. And usually he doesn't allow cell phones and things like that. But the people had them, and
somebody snuck it in that night.
Somebody snuck it in, and they were able to capture those moments. But the guy's arm, y'all, it made me sick to my stomach because I didn't expect to see that. That being the only clip at that time was an arm that was just hanging.
They ain't had to do the man like that.
They said he got stomped out.
Yes, the hell they did. Hell, you run up, you get done up. You just the simple facts. If you run up there, you better make sure that you got some. That you coming with
the man's arm
power.
The man's arm was dangling for life.
It was, but he was just
talking about Dave Chappelle here. Of course,
it was a big arena. It was a big audience. And how did he make it on? He bum rushed Dave Chappelle. He went in head first.
He had speed to him.
He went in head first. And so, I just wanted to mention that because I thought that was wild. But the fact that Chris Rock was there, able to grab the mic and actually console Dave Chappelle in that moment and make a joke about his instance of being slapped and bum rushed on stage.
Ooh, why y'all be doing this to me? Y'all ain't even right.
What happened? Oh, she gone too. Man, look.
Ooh, I think she fully gone. Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I'm here.
Oh, okay.
Rebecca know how to go completely silent. Rebecca would just get quiet and think the whole system went down. Because it went. I really thought like I thought I got disconnected. She got so quiet, but okay. Run up, get done up. I get it. I just feel like they should have broke the man's arm off. That's all.
Yeah.
No, they stomped him out.
Especially he tried to tuck and roll up there. Yeah, man. It's like, yeah. Yeah, Rebecca, was it at like a stadium or was it like a club, a comedy club or something?
It was like an arena. It was a pretty big. It was a big space.
It was like it was like one of those. But it gave comedy club, but it was a huge venue
one,
because inside of there the stage was huge. He brought out multiple comedians, and there are a lot of celebrities that were in the space as well. So the fact that this man had access to run up on him, it's like nowhere is becoming safe. But the fact that the man this man didn't even look like, and like I said, there was a glimpse. I don't have the exact mug shot or whatever the case may be. I don't know what his body type was. I don't know what his color was because he looked black at one point, then again looked Hispanic, and then looked white. So I don't know who was he ambiguous? What was it? Where were we going with
Bruno Mars out there?
Yeah, it was kind of like, but he could be black. He could be dark skinned for all I know. I really don't know. So he runs up on stage. I don't know his body, but he definitely came and tried to attack him.
We know his arm. We'll see him next time.
I think Dave Chappelle kept his feet planted and just kind of backed up a little bit and let us.
I think it was staged. It was staged.
You think it was staged? That man's arm was dislocated.
The only reason is because if the security is that good, how did he get running speed? How do you get running speed if your security is that good? Because that man looked like he was running for at least 25 yards. That's how fast he was coming.
Did you see it?
It was at the Hollywood Bowl. So yeah, that's a huge venue.
Yeah. Okay. So it's problematic all the way through. I just feel like a lot. You know how it is. It's like copycats. They see it, they plan it, they pull up to
that's the problem.
and then it's getting weird now. Now nobody's safe. You can't even really do things because people feel like they got to go and one up whoever did something else somewhere else. And I know a lot of people were making the argument back when the slap heard around the world was very popular for 40 days and 40 nights. But I know a lot of people made the argument that comedians need to be careful because they can get beat up, they can get slapped. And now, you know, a lot of these comedians, they ain't got security. Nah, they ain't got security. And then some of them are able to have security like Dave Chappelle. But you have to be on the Dave Chappelle level. Dave Chappelle doesn't give a damn. We see that. He doesn't give a damn. He does not care. And, you know, so I don't know why you would think you could run up on him and think you would have an arm, a liver. A body part that's still functioning.
I'm over here reading some of the article that's the Hollywood Reporter has out, and when I tell you, like, some of the stuff that Chappelle said after the fact, talking to Jamie Foxx, I just dumped the N-word backstage. I've always wanted to do that.
Oh, Lord.
He said he grabbed the man by the back of the head. He said it was spongy, absorbent. So he's just making jokes continuously.
He said that. No, he said that in the mic. But so who was that said that? Because I was not sure. Was it Jamie or was it Dave?
Dave Chappelle, yeah.
Yes, he did say that in the mic. Because when he was talking to Jamie, he said, like, yeah, I grabbed him in the back of the head and his hair was spongy. So I'm thinking it was a black thing.
Damn.
Oh my God. Like, he literally rushed him, y'all.
Yeah.
He got some running speed. So I'm just like, yo, how'd he get past security in the first place?
I don't know. Then
I wonder, what did he want? Like, you gotta, that's the most
That's what I was saying.
Like,
was it a protest?
Yeah.
Was he standing for something? Was he, I guess, as the story continues to develop, like I said, while we were on the East Coast sleeping, people on the West Coast were all, enraged about it. But, you know, when the East Coast wakes up, that's when Twitter is going to be in shambles. So just prepare for that to be a thing and the story continue to develop as we get through our day. But I just wanted to bring that out for anybody who didn't know. I know that some of you guys don't care about Dave Chappelle, but I thought that was a funny thing to see, especially with Chris Rock on there actually making commentary about the slap heard around the world. But yeah, that was one of the things that I saw yesterday that was hilarious.
Yeah. So they were all the comedians were there because it was part of that. Netflix is doing a special that turned into like a little festival. Netflix is a joke with like 40, 50 comedians. So that's why a lot of them were there that night. But I wonder if that's gonna make it into the Netflix part of the special.
It probably will. It
That's
probably
a good
will.
Question.
And they're probably going to have a special about the making of this Netflix comedy special. But speaking of Netflix, I wasn't able to really get onto this story, but Netflix actually a week ago had let go their full diversity and inclusion team. I say diversity and inclusion, but their team of black women that they hired on to expand the brand's like full on black content and things like that. They let them folks go. The same folks that they hired, remember, during the protests and all that other good stuff. Yeah. They let them all go. Wow. They let them all go. Yeah, they let them all go.
So that explains why their Black Voices section is gone from Netflix now.
Oh, it's gone? I never noticed.
I'm not sure. I just think about it. I'm like, wait a minute. They used to have like some Black Stories thing.
Jane started a whole rumor. Now it's going to be all over the interwebs. See, that's how shit gets started. Right there.
Cancel their ass.
Oh, my God.
Look at misinformation. There shall be no misinformation on the Benjamin Dixon book.
He said, that's why, look, that's why they got section on the show no more. That's crazy.
That's great, man.
I'm done.
You're done?
Yeah, because I saw the women actually posting about being fired. I don't know what Netflix has since done. Here we are. Netflix laid off. Now, here's the thing. The fact that they laid off the recently, and they were recently hired because this was during the protests and stuff. Remember, they wanted to make a point. We're hiring black women to tell the stories. Netflix is very inclusive when it comes. This is what I was talking about at the beginning of this segment of this show. What they do is they'll hold on to, and what's popular in the moment. And what's popular in the moment is to believe black women. It's to support black women. It's to hire black women. When the noise starts to die down, it's going to be like in history, Netflix will be known that they hired black women. Netflix is inclusive because back in, 2020, during the height of civil unrest in this America over, the murder of black women, when black men, when black women were stepping up to go and stand at the front lines of the protests, all of that, Netflix hired black women.
Yep.
That's going to be the storyline. They're not going to say 2 years after it, when the world started to not care about that anymore, when it now became something that people were desensitized to, Netflix said, who gives a damn? Fire those people. It'll only be in the media for about 3 or 4 days.
If that.
And
the way the algorithm really works is that it doesn't matter that you just cleared that up, right? So you cleared it up and it's on the internet. There might be some articles that'll say, hey, Netflix is a joke, right? In terms of diversity and inclusion. But the way the algorithm is set up is if anybody searches for that truth, those articles are going to be on page 10,000. While everything else on Netflix is going to be on the first page of your Google results. So the truth gets buried on the internet. It doesn't matter that it's there if nobody can find it.
Yeah.
Right.
So here's a little bit about Netflix laid them women off. And so they were working on, Netflix came to them. They were working on the streaming service's new website. This website was called Tundum, which was, I guess, after the sound of Netflix sound in the beginning. Yeah.
The tip,
What was I doing?
You were going the whole pitch in the wrong direction. Rebecca, you're a singer. How'd you do that?
Okay.
It's not doom doom.
It's Rebecca's wrong. It's doom doom.
Okay.
It's a deeper doom doom.
There it
the
is.
way I know because they made a Vogue beat to it. Doom doom doom.
Okay, so that's what the website was called. Tudum. Anyways, it was launched in December, and it was for fans to take the behind the streams with articles and all kinds of shows that were streamed on Netflix. And we know a lot of the popular movies, especially during the last 2 years, were pretty much either had a black character that was the main character, or it was like a black movie or something like that. So we know that those were going to be talked about on this particular website. They said they had stories on there. A lot of fans, when this story came out or when the women said that they were now being laid off, they were saying, wow, when did this come out? Was there an article? Was there a press release about this? Was there anything about this particular website that Netflix actually pushed for people to know? And that they highlighted that they hired these black women? Because they highlighted that they hired black women for what Netflix was about to expand and do. But they never said, they knew from the beginning that this thing was not going to come out. They knew from the beginning that this website was just going to be to say that they hired people at Netflix when Netflix was going to expand. So one of the women had tweeted out and said, well, I was just laid off from a significant contract originally intended through August, so I'm looking for stable work and rent. I need rent. I did see another woman who tweeted out and said, I actually had a piece in progress for and one that took me months to have the capacity to write. She said it was about Kanye grieving. It was about a grieving parent after. It was Kanye and him grieving a parent after their death. So if any editors want this piece, let me know. It took a lot of emotional labor. So not accepting less than $1 per word. Thank you. Another one, because this is from all of them are women of color, black women at that. Netflix recruited me 7 months ago only to lay me off and a bunch of other talented people today. I'm going to take time off to just exist. So please get in touch if you'll have any editing and content strategy opportunities open after August. These are all from women who experienced the layoffs. I'm going to walk away really quickly to go get my computer charger before it dies. But you guys can continue the conversation 1 second.
Yeah. And it sucks because especially I'm hearing in the chat too, like they only gave them 2 weeks of severance pay. So, and Rebecca, you're right. Like nobody, excuse me, I didn't hear anything about this. I
Not at all.
think I vaguely remember seeing something about Tadoom, and I'm just like, what the hell is that? And then paying any attention to it. Didn't know anything that Netflix was behind it or that they were even pushing this. So it's already, Rebecca, you said it right. It's like one of those things where they just set this up just to say that they did it, and then of course here it is now. The conversation, the story is almost over, and like, okay, we're not going to do it anymore. We're not going to push it, and that sucks.
You know, man,
sucks.
This is what these corporate people who think they're corporate masters do, and this is what these saltine supremacists do also. And there's some progressive people who I have worked with personally who have done the same thing. They will recruit you and take you away from what was already stable, bring you to their operation, make all of these promises, sign contracts, and then 6 months into it, shut the entire thing down, leaving you looking crazy.
Right.
Ben, that is your story.
Shut up.
That is your story. That is my story. We were there. We lived it. These people will take you from something that is stable in your life, promise you the promised land, and then shut it all down, and now you got nothing.
And now, listen, those sisters are out there looking for rent.
Looking for work, looking for rent, looking for how to make themselves, and without losing their creativity. So that they don't want to sell themselves and go somewhere to a corporate office, which is what I had to do.
No creativity of their own in the first place. They would have been lucky.
And that's why they use them. They use them, and I bet you they're going to come out with another website, same ideas, same everything. Netflix is so powerful that we made them powerful. I said, you know what? I should just end my subscription. Sorry, best friend. Look, sorry, best friend. I should just end my subscription with Netflix on today. Because I will not stand for this. I will not. Because it's like they, you know, and I thought Netflix was doing a great thing by hiring women of color, by putting more women's
I'm still trying to figure out what subscription to Netflix Rebecca got, because she's still using my password.
I am, but your password is on my computer when I travel. I am. So, but I don't know. Look, I ain't leaving.
That's why I got 50 people using. That's why I got 50 people using y'all little janky password now. Y'all ain't got no good content. All the good content.
And that's why being subscription price about to go up.
Yeah, and that's why we're going to all start canceling. Because what's the point of going to Netflix now when you really got to go to Paramount Plus to get what you want?
This is facts. When you really have to go to Disney Plus to get what you want. When you got to go to HBO Max to get what you want. When you know that you have such a great series that you've watched and you've invested in, and you know that, okay, maybe the last episode of this particular series wasn't the best, but I can't wait to see what they're going to do next year.
And then they cut it.
And then they cut it off. They be like, oh, y'all like that? Y'all like that? You like that?
Like,
yeah. It's real black.
6-8 was an amazing series, and then they just going to snatch that away from the people like that. That's the best thing they had.
7
seconds. Yep. And that's why now their whole platform, man, is just like, I don't even pay for Netflix no more. It's included in one of these plans that I got. So I'm just like, if I have to pay for it myself, y'all can forget about it. So whoever out there got my Netflix password, if T-Mobile stopped carrying it, then I'm sorry for you. But Disney Plus and HBO Max, I don't even. Disney
I'm good
Plus is like the only thing I pay for.
Disney Plus, HBO Max, and Paramount. I gotta watch me some Star Trek. I gotta watch me. I forgot why I got HBO. Oh, The Matrix. I got HBO specifically for The Matrix. Yep. And
anybody got Peacock? I need that password.
Right.
I ain't got Peacock. I ain't spending money on Peacock.
Can't tell black folks no.
Oh yeah, you did tell me what to do. You did, Dwayne. You did tell me what to do. Yes, you did.
Hey, Dwayne. Well, you mean if we do what you say, I don't have to worry about any of these things? I get all that stuff?
None of them. I got all of these shows that come on all of these streaming services. All of them. All the shows, all the movies.
Man, you know what?
For basically the price that Netflix done went up to, I get all of it.
Black-owned businesses.
Okay.
Black-owned businesses.
Support black business.
We gonna find a way. I don't care. Listen, they could put out some I don't know, some alien technologies. Black folks gonna find a way to hack it and bootleg it. We're gonna be out there on the corner behind the mall selling you the hacked version. So shout out to black folks. Where do we get it, Dwayne? Where do we go to get it? No,
he already sent it.
I'll send the info in the Slack again.
Okay.
Oh yeah, send it in Slack. I'm signing up. What's next?
What's next is, I don't know if you guys already had discussed, but Brittany Griner. I know that the U.S. now considers Brittany to be wrongfully detained by the Russian government, and they're signaling a significant shift in how officials will try to get her back home. I got major pushback by people who don't look like me. I got major pushback when I told them that we should not be focused on Joe Biden's son and his laptop, because it was so long ago and it was already ruled by the courts that there was no foul play here. But the fact that you guys want to make that such a story when Brittany Griner is in Russia, stuck there in the middle of a war over vaping, that bothered me. I said, if we can focus more on bringing light to this story so that it doesn't go under the radar, maybe we can, focus on America being able to talk about and mention so that nobody forgets Brittany out there. People were saying, the family said, don't talk about it. When I searched high and low for that information, I don't know where they got that from. I could not find that the family said, don't talk about it. I did see that an official who was handling the case, or who, was making a statement for the White House, was saying that they aren't going to talk about it, so that gives them better chances to get her out. And I don't know, for me, that bothered me, because
right.
I think of a lot of the people that we didn't talk about anymore, and it just became yesterday's news.
Yeah.
And one day we just didn't give a damn. You see what I'm saying? And for them to have made it out to be, oh, well, she did wrong anyway, that bothered me too, because I'm like, it's a whole war happening over there. So we know exactly why she was detained. The fact that the amount of time that she was being detained for was, I don't like that people try to make that, like, that whole thing a conversation, a point to roll off of. I think the fact of the matter for me was, I wanted America to do something about a black woman who was out there by herself with nobody. I wanted them to show up in a different kind of way. I wanted them to show that they can protect people, the same way they protect others. I wanted to see that moment happen, especially because she is someone who represents the U.S. when she does play for the U.S. Here at a part of the WNBA. And then when she's traveling, she's an American basketball star representing in another country.
That's right.
For America. And I just felt that in that moment, that she just needed more. I wanted it to be highlighted. I wanted it to show that we are going to stand together for her and want to get her out of there and cover it as much as possible, so that when she came home, she knew they were looking for me. They were looking for me. America really cared about the fact that I was out there. And that's what bothered me the most. And I know people were saying, well, no, we got to focus on not talking about it so they don't do anything to her. If we don't talk about it, Well, I'm like, we're not talking about what's happening, because we don't even know that. We're just going to keep Brittany Griner's name in the news. That's it. Hey, before we end, Brittany Griner is still stuck in Russia. Hopefully we can get her out. Right. Brittany, our hearts are with you. Brittany, we ain't forget about you. Like, something. The president of the United States could have done better with addressing it as well. This is what I'm talking about. There are key moments where she was vilified in the media. Like, I sat on a panel and they were like, come on, are you kidding me right now? We don't need to talk about her. We already mentioned something about her like 2 weeks ago. And I was like, but she's still out there. And we haven't gotten any updates. And I said, I did see a recent update that I haven't even seen the news talk about. People were upset that I asked them to mention her name. So anyway, the U.S. government considered her to be wrongfully detained. So she didn't. So now that whole argument about her in due process, we can just dead that.
Why did it take it so long?
Yeah.
Exactly. That was going to be my question as well too. Like, what was the holdup? Were y'all waiting so many days to see if they were going to release her or something? Now you want to come out and say, okay, let's do XYZ. Okay. Y'all know everything is a game. That's what it feels like. It's a game. It's pieces that they move in place and stuff that they try to do. It's just all a game. And like you're playing with people's lives. And I don't think they understand that. I was about to say they don't understand that, but they do understand that. They just don't care.
I don't think they understand the level of savagery that we're actually capable of when we're talking about our families, right? So what is a game for them? I think what is the poem or the saying that talks about the Negro being docile until the point where we're not. And the point where we are collectively not going to play around is with our children and our lives. But we're dealing with a political party and a political system. Like you said, James, this whole system is playing games, but it's our real lives.
Yeah.
Yep.
And so I think we'll just watch as this plays out, but I would love to, because
somebody need to get that sister. Somebody need to get that sister back home.
Yeah. Yeah. And I hope that she comes home, and I know that she's shaken. I know that to be a Black woman in that space during the war, that's going to be something that she never forgets.
And nobody got her back.
That's what I'm saying. And it almost made it feel like we can't mention her because her family said that. I didn't see that anywhere. I heard people putting that into articles, but there was no actual quote. Don't mention my daughter, please, because we wanted her to get home free. There was nothing of that. They were saying we're working with, and they're telling us to. They've said for us to be quiet and not to say things. I seen that quoted from her family. I seen Lisa Leslie, I think it was, said that she asked about it and they told her not to talk about it.
Leslie, for the one that they also told to stop tweeting about the Olympics.
The basketball, the phenom.
Okay, I'm thinking
Lisa Leslie. You don't know Lisa Little Chocolate Sound.
No.
You don't know
Lisa.
I do.
Right.
With
Thank
the legs and the body.
I'm still looking at you.
But yes.
It sounds like I need
WNBA
to
star. Yeah. It's a lot happening, and to not end it on a sad note, we got some good news, I would say. You know, we talk about a lot of these Black areas and these Black places that were once prominently Black and thriving in different communities. And we talk about how white people, white leaders, white officials bombed them places, cleared them out, killed people, and went to go sleep with their family members and wake up and eat breakfast right here in America. Tulsa, Oklahoma was one of those places. If you Tulsa, there was the massacre. Now there are people who survived that massacre, and they had actually put in a lawsuit for them to, get their money, they put in a lawsuit to sue the city. And so a judge ruled in Oklahoma, that ruled on Monday that the Tulsa Race Massacre reparations lawsuit may proceed. Somebody tried to shoot it down. Somebody was like, nah, but they fought for it. And they said that the judge in Oklahoma said that it may proceed. The decision by the Tulsa County Judge, Caroline Wall, was welcome news to the 107-year-old Viola Ford Fletcher. That's a good black name, Viola Ford Fletcher, and 2 other survivors of the 1921 massacre. Fletcher is the oldest living survivor of the destruction that ensued when white mobs attacked the prominent Greenwood district of Tulsa, Oklahoma. And so now, for her, she said her and her family never returned after they fled. And her home was ravaged by fire, and it left her and hundreds of other people either with no family, without things. You know, it was a lot happening. Now, this was back in 1921, and this woman is still alive. And I pray that she gets the reparations that she needs for her family, for them, for every single thing that they went through and was paying for. I hope that they get it all back. I think it was 3 of them that I saw in the video where they were being rolled in their wheelchairs. All of them being rolled up
all
in
of
their
them
wheelchairs.
over 100.
Exactly.
Wow.
And they were present to hear that they would be able to move forward to seek the reparations of that massacre. The fact that I say that there was a massacre that happened and there are people that are living that witnessed that were children, that lost family members, that lost a whole life, just the whole, look at them, that lost everything in that moment. And those people who did it have family that probably own vineyards, have family that got free rides into colleges, and they want us to forget about that. They want us to forget that these things happen. But we got people who lived through that time, who are able to tell their testimony from that time, and they remember. So it wasn't long ago. It wasn't what the number that they want to throw out 400 years ago. And so what? 400 years ago was still just like yesterday, because we're still struggling through what our ancestors went through.
So
but
I just hope that the other family members, like I know they said we have these 3, and those are the oldest residents that were alive during then, and made it through. But I'm just wondering, like, are the other families, like families from people that are not here, if they're going to get anything, because those families need to get something as well too.
Yeah.
I hate that the way you said that, Rebecca, because it cuts deep when you think the white folks who took stuff from the people in Tulsa had an entire life. You know what I mean? They had children, they had grandchildren, and they probably got great grandchildren out here right now telling us we need to work harder when all of what they got is taken stolen from people, from black people, burned and bombed.
Yeah.
So there's got to be some justice at some point.
Yep. And I hope that they do get justice. I love to see it. Look at her little bag, and look at them. These people I feel like they're fighting. They're fighting to stay alive so they can see this day. They're fighting to stay alive so they can be a part of this particular moment. Because they lost a lot, and they had to live through. And probably at that time they didn't have the help to guide them through mentally. They had to just. Right. They had to literally go through it and not die from it, and continue to say, I went through that and I'm stronger now. So it's time.
They wonder why black folks so religious.
Yeah. And then with black folks, religious looks different in so many different ways. But listen. We didn't have the option to go to therapists or to go to resorts and have a getaway. We had to continue to work and take care of the kids.
Those treatment centers.
And we didn't, no rehab, no treatment centers, none of that. The wealth that was happening in Tulsa, those white folks couldn't stand to, I said white F, sorry y'all. Those white people couldn't stand to see. They couldn't stand to see.
Folk. I heard folk.
I did too.
The first word wasn't. Oh. But they couldn't stand to see that. And so now, I feel like having them start over, they thought that they could just have them go into the dust, but they didn't know that these people were seeds, so they would bloom and continue to bloom and grow and become flowers and reproduce and have their little bitties running around, because the reparations will come in your face. And then they're going to start dropping names. They're going to start dropping names of the people who were at the head of this is 2022, baby, and we're not playing games.
Come on now. I was just about to say, this is like the episode of Atlanta I was telling y'all about a few weeks ago.
Yeah,
where the black people started coming after the white people for doing all this stuff that their ancestors did. Now, y'all, this wasn't that long ago. A lot of these people still walking around. If they not walking around, they relatives is walking around. So it's going to come a point where people going to get fed up. And if we can't go after the ancestors, the people that did it to us, we're going to get y'all asses in.
I'm sorry. I am sorry, not Catherine. Sorry. But your mama, your mama is still alive. And she did that to my grandmama. I can't mess with you, sis. I can't. Listen, I cannot. I don't. It's not you. It's them, right? But you have benefited for what they did to mine. So, now, sis, I don't hate you. Mean it, but it ain't. This will never happen. No kumbaya. No, it's black, it's white. No, it's not. We're not doing any of that. Like, I need to get mine. My kids need to be fed. Baby needs some shoes, okay? All of that. All of that.
Bubba need an Xbox, period. And, I just hope that the other massacres, because, there were many other massacres that happened in many other cities. I just hope that this puts it out there where this will lead others to start stepping up and seeking those reparations as well too, because there's a lot of other cities out here that need to be recognized that we just don't have to go and look at. I think I remember we had this conversation, I think maybe last year. I think we did, and we looked up a list of cities that had massacres similar to this. Y'all remember that?
Yes, and there were so many that are not spoken of, yo. There were so many. And then we talked about that one place, now I'm forgetting the name of it, but the one in Orlando, and I said, why didn't anybody tell? We were riding through this place, and it was preserved black homes that they allowed white people to go and spray paint, that they had to now put fences up in this. They were black communities, black motels, and me riding through it, I got the chills, and my mind that's how I know spirits are real. I just literally was seeing a flourishing area of black people there, and it was bothering me that it no longer belonged to black people.
Right.
It bothered me. Zora Neale Hurston, that's what stuff was. She's from out there, and a museum is out there. And on the side of the museum, they letting anybody come and just F it up. On the side of the museum, it's like spray painted and doors hanging off. And I'm like, this should be actually preserved, but they don't put the same amount of love and trying to preserve our history. They don't put that out there. They want to gentrify it 2 seconds away from it. They reached right at the border of that little area, and they've made new apartments.
Red Summer. That's what it was called. Red Summer.
That's right.
So much.
That's the summer Dr. Mack talks about. I forgot the precise years, the range, but it coincides with the federal troops being pulled out of the South as a part of an agreement that got someone the White House. In other words, what was allowed to happen in the South was because of Washington, D.C. politics. Ultimately, with the federal troops being removed, the Klan and all the other rednecks and their counterparts got to go in and do what they wanted to us.
And yet they don't want us to teach critical race theory.
Critical race theory. Come on.
And it's important that we do, because you think I knew that there was somewhere like that for me to see in Florida? Like, besides me going to Tallahassee and being surrounded and getting the knowledge that I did, I'm grateful for my university for that. But I would have never known that just 2 hours away there was something like that in Florida. I know there was another area where there was a massacre in Florida, and I forget. Rosewood. And so you see, we have those things that happen. The massacre only happened because we were black. I need somebody to point me into another reason why these massacres happened, why families had to die. Please tell me.
And how it is that they expect for our present day to not be inextricably linked to those events. In other words, these fools want to make it seem like what's happening in America today to black people is just like some immaculate conception. Like black people just happen to be out here and we just happen to be the poorest. We just happen to be the ones in the projects. We just happen to be the ones with all the bad schools. And then they try to make it look like it's just us. It's our fault. How do they do that? They sever us from our history. If we do not know that at every turn where black people got a foot forward, racism came in and killed it. If we don't learn that history, then they'll get away with telling us that the reason we're poor right now is just because we don't work hard enough.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. And when we no longer want to work, we don't deserve anything nice. We don't deserve, like, we should continue working in the name of, like, the American way. But I see white people being able to retire at 65, but black people having to work until they're 80, 3 more years, probably 10 more on their life. Because, black folks don't live a little longer.
Listen,
but,
if you have enough time to learn parkour, you're not working as hard as us.
No.
I'm sorry. All those videos on Instagram, all those people jumping off of walls and flipping and stuff and all looking amazing, they don't work hard as we do. Because we ain't got time to go out there and do that.
Yeah, if you can get on TikTok and flourish with your own. White folks can't flourish without us. I'm sorry, and I hate to say that. No offense to any of you guys. Everything that white folks are flourishing from, they have taken it from us. We can be like, we're separating ourselves from your whole community, your whole town, your whole whatever, and it's like they gotta go in there, look at everything, see how they can replicate it, then destroy yours and go do it.
Literally.
It's ridiculous. Couldn't feed their own kids. They needed a black woman to go feed their kids. It's weird. It's weird. It's weird. Anyways, we done took it all the way back to the historical times. I just wanted to point out that the Tulsa,
I know, right?
Tulsa massacre survivors need the reparations, and anybody else who has, actually all of us, give us the money. We've all have been a product of genocide in our communities just because we was black at the hands of oppressors that are white. And now we are moving forward, and we're still going to push for reparations. So we're at the end of the show. It is about to be 10:30. I got to get to my look. After saying all that, I got to go to the slave house, not the trap house, the slave house. I got to go check it on the fields. So I love you guys so much. I hope that you enjoy this Wednesday. Please do something positive for yourself. Love you, mean it. Ben, continue to enjoy the beach, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.
Take care,
Love y'all, mean it.